before I found some answers.
No, I don't think she works for the Order, but there's definitely something else going around. Also, why is that kid, carrying a hatchet? Or an axe, or whatever it is? And why is he holding it like that? I mean, you'd always keep the sharp edge away from you, right? So, well, we can just go to the garden. aka swamp, right? So that should be good. Ew.
That could have been a tower at one time. The princess would have been locked in the top, waiting for her knight in shining armor. Who knows what's waiting there now?
Plants.
I'm pretty sure that there's something interesting inside. But I can't get inside from here.
Oh, I sense a puzzle coming up to get through somehow. Ruins.
The house, or what's left of it, is not as old as the other ruins here. Apart from the burnt places on the ruins, I can't spot anything else of interest.
Alright. Garden hose. Water tap. I probably want to
Filthy water tap.
work. It does.
Well, who'd have thought it? It still works.
Yeah, who would have thought it? I surely didn't.
A water hose, which apparently they used to use to blast the garden.
What?
It's had it. There's a huge rip in it about a yard long. There's probably water in it over the winter, and when it froze, it will have bursted.
Pick it up anyway. Yeah, anything rope-like
Hoses have
you
been
always
real
want.
useful to me up till now. Hopefully the same goes for this one.
Yeah, I mean anything that is kind of, shaped like a rope or chain or anything like that, it's always a must-have in an adventure game. And wait, what? We can look at the water tap, not actually use it.
A certainly old, but still functioning water tap. A certainly old.
Can I connect that anyway?
The rip in the pipe is so big that I can just as well let the water splash up to the ground.
Alright, didn't know it was that big. Right, lanterns.
This lamp definitely hasn't worked for eons, and for sure is never going to again. Wrecked, like everything here.
Bloody phone making me jump.
This wall is definitely just as old as the tower, and just as shaky. I had to keep away from it. The only function of the wall seems to be to hold up the gate. I won't disturb it. That's where someone either tried to turn into the entrance, or the wall fell down through old age.
Alright, well, sorry about that quiet for a couple of moments. Just got a work-related email and I need to answer that after I finish recording. So, right, I'll keep that open.
Behind the wall is where a kind of moat begins, maybe 4 or 5 yards deep. Down there's just stone and junk, perhaps a few objects from the Middle Ages. Swords, armor, that sort of thing. But that's for archaeologists to worry about.
Right, so I think that's pretty much all, unless there's something else. Oh, totally gargoyle.
The bowl is full to the brim with water. The outlet's probably blocked so that the rainwater can't escape.
Now I think we had it all, so to the back. Where obviously something is going to...
blocking the way. But I reckon I can climb over the trunk.
Can you just go through? I need to go over. Nice.
Oh, damn! That could also have gone in my eye.
Marsh.
Luckily, it seems to have not rained here for a while. That's why the morass is relatively hard and dry. Otherwise, I would have sunk in deeper, and might not have been able to get out on my own. Luckily, it seems to have not rained, otherwise I would have...
I sense a puzzle with water, perhaps. And we have water basin. Yeah, totally.
Is that also some kind of grave? Huh. Nope. Rather more like a water basin. There's about half an inch of duckweed floating on the water.
Duckweed. I don't know what that is.
A monument. And there's more behind. Maybe some kind of family plot. Strange. None of the graves look like they're from recent years. Most of the stones must have been standing there for decades.
Well, they're all Gordons, right? And that is their family crypt. That's what I'm figuring.
Huh. It's a miracle that the stairs haven't collapsed. But I'm still not gonna step on them.
No, just climb up the tree trunk if you want to get in there, the summer house.
It's a miracle that so much of the house is still standing after the tree smashed into it.
Well?
Nothing interesting to see. The roof is caved in and buried the room below it. No chance. The door's wedged. And even if it wasn't, the building looks likely to fall down any minute anyway.
Seems like a very appropriate moment to go in and have it collapse on you on the way out, but that's just me. Hook.
Huh. A hook. It still looks pretty sound despite the rust. Ah, it's damn well fixed. I'm not gonna get it out with my bare hands.
We got a metal bar to use more force. No, what?
No. I don't need to strain myself there. It's well fixed.
Alright. Well, I doubt a lockpick is going to do anything, so... Huh. Yeah, I was gonna say, surely that won't work. Nope. Alright. We need something else, and I don't think I have it, so...
Luckily, it seems to have not otherwise.
Yeah, right. It's just looping again. Right, let's look at the statue and then try and go into the crypt. I doubt... Aren't they always locked?
The statues are of veiled women, grieving for the dead. In their book, it says... nothing.
Well, that's a bummer.
3 very similar trees, all about as thick as an arm. About 3 or 4 yards tall, and pretty bent over by the wind. The trees only have their first branches quite high up, and barely any leaves. They're obviously not doing too well, but they're still too thick to break them and bring them down.
Throw the hose around it and then hang on it? No? Well, that's how I probably would have tried it, but... yeah, I don't think... Well, do it with a rope.
The trees only have their first branch, but they're still too...
Well, let's try going to the crypt then. I sense a moment of stuckness coming up.
Huh.
Oh.
The ground's real soft everywhere here. I think it must be a swamp. I bet as soon as it rains, you can't put one foot in front of the other.
Well, you're standing on tiles
This
now,
building must be the only one you can still get into.
Well, this looks like a statue puzzle if I ever saw one. Sarcophagus.
Little Van Helsing reckoned that Angelina had spent a long time messing around the tomb here. And here's the lid. not lying squarely on the sarcophagus.
Looks pretty square to me, but...
There are some stone chips which have come off the edge. Doesn't look all too old. Angelina had opened the sarcophagus, that much is clear. But why?
Probably because something of worth was stored in there, is what I'm guessing, but... Let's actually read up on the diary. Yep. Go back. Follow Angelina's trail. I can't go yet. I've got to find out what Angelina was after first. Screw Tom. What's going on here? What was Angelina doing in the ruins? And break into the lab. I guess Angelina got into the lab through a secret passage. And this secret passage starts in the sarcophagus, but how am I gonna get the lid off without any equipment? Well, lift it up with a metal bar. I guess not. There's a lot of things to look at around here though, so...
The lid is partly fallen in. That would appear to have been a few years back though. The lid is partly fallen in. The lid is partly...
Repeatable, aka important.
Obviously a wild, romantic place. Only the stinking swamp outside ruins the atmosphere. Obviously a...
Well, there's something to do with the ceiling then. Well, let's look at the other sarcophagus.
In horror stories, there's always secret passageways under sarcophaguses like this. And they always lead down into secret underground chambers. In reality, though, I think I can exclude that idea. There are only probably some horrible beetles and corpse-eating maggots in there.
Well, time for the statues then.
This stone statue is covered in moss, like the others. It's carrying a metal shield. Unusual.
Pick it up. No?
The shield hasn't been moved in years. False alarm. A stone figure holding weighing scales. The scales are empty.
Carrying... Wait, what?
There are two belts. They look like carrion slings. And they look new.
Pick them up.
The belts are a ripstop weave. They'll sure hold quite a bit.
Alright, so what about that statue?
Could be Poseidon. Well, the statue's got a trident in its hand at least.
Doesn't automatically make it Poseidon though, but... yeah. I mean, what? I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
I don't know why Angelina had lifted the lid off the sarcophagus. The question is, how can I do that? The lid must weigh several hundred pounds. Angelina must have definitely had some kind of suitable equipment on hand, as opposed to me.
Well, can I just use it directly, considering that holds a lot of weight? I can, apparently.
I'll place the sling around the back right corner, and the other around the front left one.
But what are you going to attach it to?
The slings are exactly long enough to touch in the middle.
Alright.
The slings could definitely carry the lid, and I've put them on so that the lid can't tip.
Alright, so extend that? No. Pull that? No.
I don't know why Angelina had, but the question is...
Well, what do we do now? Use the rope.
The slings could definitely carry the lid, and I've put them on so that the lid can't tip.
Yeah, but I still need to lift them up somehow. Which, I don't know. Can't tie that or anything, so... I think I must have missed an item somewhere.
The lid is partly fallen in. The lid is obviously a wild...
Yeah, just making sure that that's not something new or anything, so... I must have... Oh, I need the hook, obviously. I need the hook and something else, but...